Right. Oh my goodness, what's going on over there?
What the is that?
It's like what's security like around here?
The Wyatt Six has disrupted the Pat McAfee show on a non-WWE segment and has now targeted Pat McAfee. Literally nothing to do with WWE, just a normal segment, people talking, and suddenly they're like, hey, what's that? What's going on over there? The lights go out. Nothing to do with WWE other than the fact that Pat McAfee is an announcer for WWE. Pat McAfee has wrestled for WWE. But the Pat McAfee show is actually separate, and it's not, because WWE actually treats the Pat McAfee show as canon a lot of times, even if it really isn't. I mean, The Rock, you know Cody Crybabies, where that comes from? The Rock actually turned heel on the Pat McAfee show. A lot of people think it happened at the press conference. No, The Rock did Pat McAfee before the press conference, and that's where Cody Crybabies came from. The Rock turned heel on Pat McAfee and then carried it to the press conference, which carried it right into WrestleMania 40. So Pat McAfee is doing his show, and straight up the lights go out. They're like, who the F is that? Where's security? This has major implications in that now we know the Wyatt Six, they're not going to be confined to Raw. There's no draft when it comes to the Wyatt Six, because if they can go to ESPN and attack Pat McAfee, then they can go anywhere. They can literally go anywhere. And I am not a big fan of that. I want the draft to mean something. Back in the day when Bray Wyatt was still with us, R.I.P. Bray Wyatt, he was even subject to the draft. But, I don't know. Let's just sidebar the draft and not really be concerned with it. The only thing that might mean that it's still, the draft still means something to the Wyatt Six and they're going to be confined to Raw is the fact that Pat McAfee is an announcer for Raw. But, I don't know. The fact that they would go to seek him out on ESPN with a bunch of non-WWE people means they can do anything. And they've shown that leading up to their arrival. I mean, NXT, SmackDown, Raw, every PLE, they all had the Wyatt QR codes. Heck, they've even hacked Twitter accounts, Instagram accounts. They went to Twitch. If you don't know what Twitch is where a lot of times when you think of someone playing video games and people watching them, it's Twitch. Now, that can also be on Facebook and YouTube, but usually, predominantly, it's Twitch that's known for video game gameplay. Well, WWE has a Twitch channel, and twice now, the Wyatt Six or Uncle Howdy has completely hacked into it, and we had 1 hour-long therapy session and another half an hour just crazy, wacky session. If you guys want to see it, I am going to upload those to my channel. I'm not going to advertise them. I'm not going to do anything with them. It's literally there just for reference. If you guys want to see it, it's not monetized. I'll try to put a link in the description below unless it gets copywritten striked or something like that, because I'm not doing nothing to it. Literally, it's there just for reference of this crazy Wyatt Six era that we find ourselves in, because a lot of things, these Easter eggs, are still just out there in the wild that people don't even know existed. And so anyways, back to this. The ramifications are just so huge, because the Pat McAfee show kind of is like, WWE uses it as like a bridge to outsiders, to the normals, to the normies, to the casuals. Pat McAfee, even though he is an employee of WWE, the Pat McAfee show is completely 100% separate. Now, Pat McAfee does do WWE segments on the Pat McAfee show, and he reviews it, and he talks about the show as if he was in character and everything was kayfabe, but for real, they don't really have anything to do with it. I'm sure they tell Pat McAfee a couple things like, you know, don't make us look bad and this and that, but for the most part, Pat McAfee, what he does is on his own. And Pat McAfee is very much respected in the sports world, in fake sports like football and stuff. He was a punter, actually, a kicker. During the NFL draft, he even had this really cool moment where he was talking about Tony Khan from AEW, because Tony Khan had just been pile-drived while, you know, the Tony Khan drive driver had been applied to him and he had a neck brace. And Pat McAfee is actually talking about an AEW angle on the NFL network employed by the WWE. So that was a kind of a crazy moment. But it just goes to show that WWE, when Pat McAfee is not in their building, he's kind of free to do whatever he wants. And so for the Wyatt Six to come and attack him on his show on ESPN is just, I don't know. I don't even know when the last time a crossover like this has happened. The Rock and Wrestling Connection on MTV, those things were way huger, but I'm just saying this is happening in real life on other channels, popular channels and stuff that are not connected necessarily with the WWE. For the WWE to let the Wyatt Six, this crazy, spooky, very unrealistic even group, to actually go and present themselves to the normals, to the outsiders of the world, that's crazy to me. I cannot believe that Triple H is this all in on the Wyatt Six. I guess I should have seen it based upon the fact that they massacred everybody at the end of the Raw, but geez, going to ESPN and completely shutting down the show? The Pat McAfee show? That's insane! And the greatest thing is, they didn't do anything spooky or supernatural. They just cut off the lights. This is the kind of Wyatt Six that I want. Very creepy, very invasive, kind of like a home invasion with scary masks, creepy masks. That's the Wyatt Six I want. I don't want demonic possession, and it's not because of any religious thing on my part. I just don't find demonic possession and flying elbows off the top rope to really go together. But creepy home invasion with pig masks, that goes together with elbow drops off the top rope for some reason. I don't know. That's how my brain is wired. This is huge. I do like it. I still do have my misgivings, and I want to proceed with caution with the Wyatt Six. And you might be asking, why did they go after Pat McAfee? The nearest I can tell is the night after Raw on the Pat McAfee show, he did do a review of it, and he was putting over the Wyatt Six, but he also did say he was in mid-yeet. The Wyatts did come and invade Raw, and the fact of the matter is, Jey Uso has the Fireflies. And so if Pat McAfee is supporting Jey Uso, and Jey Uso has Bray Wyatt's Fireflies, that's the connection I can see there, why they would actually go after Pat McAfee, because he's supporting Jey Uso. Even though Jey Uso has also come out and said, you know what, I don't want that smoke, you can have the Fireflies back. That was so, I love that. I love Jey Uso. Anyways, this is, I don't know, I just needed to come and talk about this. I appreciate every single one of you. What do you think about the Wyatt Six attacking a non-WWE event? Just disrupting. Do you think it's as big a deal as I think it is? Because I really do think it's a big deal to go to ESPN and shut down a show. I really do think that. And how cool of ESPN to let that happen. But regardless, do you think that? Comment below. You get a chance to win one of these belts or the Smoking Skull belt. Once I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll pick someone at random. I acknowledge how cool the Wyatt Six attack on Pat McAfee is. I hope you acknowledge the subscribe button. You guys and girls have a great day.